Hi, today I want to introduce my final project. In my final project, what I want to do is a platform for enterprise development. The goal for this project is providing reusable common service to reduce the development workload of a simple enterprise module. The first function I want to introduce is a template. It's a template service. In the template service, what I want to do is the word and the text in the user interface what display in the user interface is getting from server. I will show you this. You see the text here. The text here I store in database, and I click save this text, and I open the user management. Here, you see the user grid is modified. So every text in the user interface is not hard code in the HTML. This is why I designed the template service. The next part is operation service. The goal of operation service I designed is to control every operation, every button, and control the text and control the authority of every button. I can show you for some buttons. I can show you. I added some buttons. You see, I added some buttons. I added the save to this, and I clear the cache, and I refresh user management. Can you see this? Yes. The save buttons text is modified. This means every button and every button's text is dynamically acquired from server. I can show you the request. Can you see this? Every toolbar is a request from the server. Yes. The next part I want to introduce is authority management. Authority management is in authority management and user management, these two functions. And in authority management, I can define every role's authority, such as department, system management, and every role have a different authority. And in user management, I give this user a role called department admin. I can add another role to these users or delete roles, or I can delete these roles and add another roles. Yes. If I use these users to log in, I use the test user to log in. You see the function is different. It's different than the admin because they have different roles, and different roles have different authority. I change to admin user. If I type, okay. This is authority management. The last part I want to introduce is metadata management. The metadata management have a two-step to construct the metadata data. The first step is scan the package info to collect the metadata data. Yeah, this metadata data is come from the entity package. When I click refresh metadata here, when I click update metadata, the program will scan all of the metadata package and get the info from the table, from the ID, from the column, and store these things into database. Here is a metadata info. Here, metadata. Yeah, here's the metadata info. Can you see this? Yeah. The metadata info is scanned from package, and when I want to show a data table in the front end, the info is come from the metadata table. I can modify something for you to show this, because such as I modify the user, I modify the username to this. Click save. The username will be modified. I open this. Yeah, you see here, the table name be modified. The goal of my design is all the text, all the metadata, all of the text button is not hard code in the HTML. The next part I want to show is the log service. The log service have a log code to request to record the log. You see the log code. This is a log code, and if I have these error numbers, and the log service will look up these error numbers and return the log text to the front end. This is mainly about the log service. In the next part, I will show you the code and the design of this. In my program, I have four package. The first is component, the controller, and the controller is located in component. And some common controllers is located in provider class. In the provider class, many common used service controller is located here. And the config package mainly store some config class, such as application entrance and security check. Security check means if the user do not log in, he cannot access any page. The entity package contain the domain and many and database entity and operation entity and JSON entities. And I write a service to convert the data the database entity to JSON entity. Every entity is extended from abstract entity, and every JSON entity is extended from abstract JSON entity. In the abstract JSON entities, I write some common used attribute in this, such as ID field, because every JSON entity have an ID field. And in the abstract entity, I use the Hibernate mapped superclass to write some common field, such as dr. Dr means this row is deleted row. If the row is deleted, the dr attribute will be put into will be marked as 1, and the ts attribute means this is a timestamp attribute. The two attributes I write here means every table, every entity has these two fields because this is a mapped superclass. Most of the operation I write it in the service package. This is authority service and data service. Data service is the most complex service here. It contains some entity convert helper to help me to convert data entity to JSON entities, and store some method to reduce the reflection calling time, and entity to JSON method, JSON to entity method, and merge JSON with entity method. This service, and some other service uses the data service is about 600 lines here. In the function service mainly provides authority control here. And if the front end want to get the function tree, such like this, if the front end want to get the function tree, the function service will return the function tree to front end. And the metadata service mainly contains the refresh metadata method. The refresh metadata method will scan the entity package and get all of the info written in the metadata and write this metadata into database. Can you see this? This is write metadata into database. And this method will read many annotations, will read the annotation in the code and convert this annotation into some informations and store this information into database. This is the current portion of my final project. In the future, I want to construct more of. I also want to construct more modules upon this, such as workflow, basic data, message queue, and ESB modules into upon this service. This is my future direction of my final project, and thank you for your attention.